Hi guys, it's me, Plantain Charlene, and today's video is going to be about a plant that I received recently from another black-owned business that I found called Tennessee Tropicals. So before I go any further with the plant that I purchased, I wanted to tell you a little something about myself if this is your first time to my channel. I am a proud plant parent, and I own different varieties of plants. I make videos based on plants that I purchased and have arrived, plants that I already own, and I just want to share them with you, aka a haul, or if there's repotting or bug issues, whatever it is, as long as it's dealing with house plants, I'm trying to talk about it, if I know about it, of course. If this is not your first time on my channel, as I always will try to remember to say, thank you for returning. There must be something about me that you like, and I'm appreciative that you want to watch me again. Thank you. The one thing that I really liked about this this plant store was the variety of plants that they have. A lot of them were out of stock at the time when I was on the site, but there was one that I found, which is the one that I have. The pricing was more than I would like to pay. It's not that it's expensive, it's just more than I would like to pay. But a lot of people may feel like, oh, this is an average price. I'm not really that familiar because I don't buy that many rare or super tropical, hard to find plants because they are usually out of my price budget. So I stay within what I feel, one, I can afford, and two, that I can actually take care of, because I don't want to spend a lot of money on a plant and then it dies. That's not a good thing. Okay guys, so let's get into the plant that I purchased from Tennessee Tropicals. It is the Ficus Triangularis Variegata. Now, the thing that I really like about this plant is that it reminds me of the heart-shaped Hoyas. Though it's not exactly heart-shaped, it's close enough for me. If you really look at how that looks right there, doesn't it look like a heart? Especially like the dark green contrasting with the lighter part of the leaf around the edge. It just looks like a heart to me. I'm getting a little new growth right there, which is nice because that wasn't there when I received it. I had this plant about 2 weeks now. It's still in its quarantine section. It does still receive some kind of morning sun, but when it arrived, I did water it with my peroxide and water mix just to make sure there was nothing in the soil, and so far so good. The other thing I want to talk about is the light for this. I noted that I have it in a kitchen that has morning sun, but it's sitting up kind of high, so it doesn't get too much sun right now. Once it comes out of quarantine, it will be in a brighter spot of my apartment, whether here in my living room or in the kitchen, so that it can receive good morning sun. That's not too strong. I don't want to give it the afternoon sun that I receive in my sorry, I couldn't get that out. I didn't want to put it in the bedroom because that afternoon sun is very strong for a lot of hours. So I decided that I will keep it in the kitchen or the living room for the morning sun. I know that when you're dealing with a variegated leaf style plant, that it does need more light than a plant that just has regular dark green leaves. I want to talk about the humidity. Right now it is stupid hot, so the humidity in my apartment is averaging, I'm gonna say, about 65, which is very high. It is good. This plant doesn't need me to do anything extra. I'm sure it's appreciating it because this specific plant does appreciate some humidity. Something else I want to mention about the lighting: if this plant is not receiving the proper amount of light, it will begin to drop its leaves. So if you see that it's dropping its leaves, try to put it either closer to the light or give it a grow light, but definitely put it in a place that it's receiving more sunlight or direct light. So the soil for this plant, it does like to have a nice drainage soil, so something that has either peat moss and perlite or pumice, so that the water will drain freely through it. You don't want it impacted, so that the water, oh, I don't know what that was, so that the water is not getting to the roots properly. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting your time watering it. Also, when it's time to water, we'll be letting that soil dry out. Let the soil dry out. This plant does not want to sit in moist, wet soil. You need to let it dry out. So when you get the finger in your pot, when you put your finger in the pot to test the soil, you need to make sure, at least to your knuckle, second knuckle, that if it's dry, then you need to water it. But if it's not dry, don't water it. Wait another 2 or 3 days, check it again, and if you see that it's dry at that time, then water it. Maybe even wait a week. The plant will be okay. So let's talk about fertilizer. This plant does appreciate some fertilizing. The fertilizer that I use is a brand called Good Dirt, and it's a pump. So for every 1 pump is to a gallon of water. Currently I have 2 pumps and just over a gallon, 2 gallons of water. So it's diluted somewhat, but not to the full extent that it could be diluted. It is an organic fertilizer, and I would fertilize this plant pretty much every time I water it. So depending on how much you water a plant will depend on how much you want to use that fertilized water. I wouldn't follow those instructions like that that I noted, because I don't know where you live and how often your temperatures are. Some people could live in Arizona where it's more desert-like and it dries out much faster. It's very low humidity. So you really have to consider where you live and understand your watering, your fertilizing, your humidity, all of those great things. Okay guys, I think that is it. If I forgot anything, please forgive me. If there's anything that you feel that I'm doing wrong or I could do better, please let me know. Comment below. Again, I thank you for watching my video. If you haven't already, please comment, like, subscribe. No pressure. Click the bell to know when I put out another video. And at the end of the day, everybody, keep planting. Thank you and have a blessed one. Bye.